Hello, my friends. I would like to talk to you today about the spheres of spiritual existence, about the dimensional existence, or I would like to say about the hierarchy of life God designed. When I was a young boy, I had those recurring dreams. I was flying in my dreams over the earth. And I was looking at the earth. And what I saw were, not nations or different cultures or different races or physical boundaries. But what I saw were the places of light and the places of darkness. And as I got closer to the places of light, I realized that that light was simply the consequence of the good moral condition of the people who lived there. And as I got closer to the places of darkness, I realized that the darkness was the consequence of the criminal nature of those people. And the only boundary between those people, between the light and the darkness, was the virtue, the presence of the virtue, not physical boundary. And here it is. The first rule of every dimensional life. Your location is your condition, your moral condition. Your moral condition creates the environment that you live in. This is quite easy to see in the spiritual world because you cannot hide anything there. So as you are cruising through spiritual world and looking anywhere, what you see are places of light, people who live in the light because their moral condition created that bright, beautiful environment, and you see places of darkness, people who live in darkness because it reflects perfectly their moral condition. It is not that easy to see that on our planet, because here you can simply buy your environment. You have money, you are a criminal, okay, you can buy a beautiful house in the mountains and you enjoy your life. But to a certain extent, because people who are really connected to God, who pray, they will always see you for who you are. And believe me, spiritual beings, they see always you in darkness because they see that the condition really of your environment is dark. It reflects your dark soul. But once again, when you enter a house of a person who is questionable on our planet, you will always see something odd there because his questionable dark condition will be reflected somehow. They cannot really perfectly hide their problems. So you will see, for example, paintings on the walls full of blood. You will see some kind of weird furniture. You will see an odd collection of things like I saw, the collection of 1,000 rabbit figurines. So you begin to think there is something unusual happening here because I see in environment of this human being something strange. So once again, from the spiritual perspective, it is quite clear, and this is the statement here. Your location, the place you occupy, the sphere you are in, is always matching your moral condition. It is your moral condition. The next thing here I want to really show you is this problem of numbers. How many of those different spheres of life, these dimensions of spiritual existence, how many of those do we really have? Hebrew tradition teaches us that we have only five. So there are five dimensions of life accessible for human beings. Some people say 7, some say 12. And I would say that the number is infinity for a very simple reason. Because your moral condition can grow into infinity. Therefore, your moral condition can create an infinite numbers, if an infinite number of those dimensions, those spheres of existence. So we should see this in this way. I would say that a majority of spiritual writers, they give us, this number. The first 6 spheres are the spheres of human-centered existence. People who have beautiful lives, people who live in a natural way, who develop virtues, but who are not really connected to God. They live without this connection. So this is natural, human-oriented, human-centered life. And the number 6 is given here because in the entire Bible, of course, this is the number of man. The man was created on the 6th day of creation. The letter Vav in Hebrew, this is 6. So the first 6 spheres is a human-oriented development. From the 7 up, from 7 to infinity, this is God-oriented life because people begin to connect to God. So it will be God-centered, celestial type of existence. You will change in a beautiful way, but you will change yourself dramatically in this kind of journey through celestial spheres. As we pass from the lower sphere to the higher, we have to understand that we can do that only by displaying a virtuous life. So it will be by the presence of virtue in us. So if you pass from the sphere number 1 to the sphere number 2, you can do that if you are honest. Honesty, truthfulness is what carries you to the higher level of life. This is not the power of your mind or understanding of something, but you have to have this virtue. If you are able to express the truth to anyone around 24/7, it carries you to the second sphere from the first one. If you, for example, would like to go from the 6th sphere of existence, human-centered life, still, to the 7th sphere, God-centered life, you have to have some humility about yourself. Because you will be carried only by humility, and humility is the boundary between the 6th and 7th spheres. With humility, you begin to realize, wait a minute, there is a higher being. I am not here alone. Let me connect to this higher being. And it takes you from the 6th to the 7th sphere. So that's how it works always. Yet when you want to go from the sphere up to anything down, you can always do that anytime you want. Though I don't know the reason why, because your existence, let us say, in the 4th sphere is far more beautiful than in the 2nd. I would say that the only reason would be you trying to help your friends who are in the 2nd sphere to develop themselves. So that's how you really go through those spheres, yeah? I believe that we are really living here on our planet in the 1st dimension, in the higher level of this dimension. And the existence of hell is also connected to the 1st dimension. So hell is also the 1st dimension, but this is the lowest level of the 1st dimension. So as I am telling you those things, I am talking to you from the first dimension of existence. And as you are listening to me, you are listening to me from the first dimension. I didn't encounter people who live in the second dimension. Maybe there are few on our planet. I know nothing about them. So here is that problem of the numbers. For me, the numbers, the potential number of the spheres is infinity of existence, and we should see the first 6 as a human-centered life, and from 7 up, from 7 to infinity, this is celestial, God-centered existence. The last thing I want you to see really is this problem of so-called earthbound spirits. Everybody is talking about it. Earthbound spirits, who they are. There is a certain group of spirits, frankly millions of them, who are glued to the earth. They form like an umbrella over the surface of the planet. They don't want to go away. And they are quite dark spirits. They really created a lot of darkness on the planet. And this darkness keeps them here because it reflects their condition. And they want to continue to do that because they want to stay here. Because the only option they have that is a different option is to go back to their true condition, true dark condition, which is, in all honesty, a hellish existence, the life in hell. Those earthbound spirits, they had different names in the history of humanity. They were called dark, gray people. They were called evil spirits or aliens. Different names. What we should know here that many exorcists, really, they just truly experienced them in their lives. So this is the truth of our human existence, that we are surrounded by this umbrella of those dark spirits who want to control life on the planet, and they want to create as much darkness as possible because it keeps them going, it keeps them connected, it makes them compatible with the earth condition. And the only other option they have is to go just to hell. And they are so afraid of that they are glued here. I would advise you really not to connect to those. Okay, anytime they come to you and try to portray themselves as your saviors, whatever they tell you, and if you feel some forceful appearance that they are pushy, disengage. You need to connect to God, because those earthbound spirits, those aliens, gray people, they will always try to control you. They will always manipulate you, and you will end in disaster. So this is this earthbound spirits problem that, believe me, goes together with our humanity, with our history through millennia, through ages of existence. So I am showing you those 3 very simple things today. About this dimensional existence that I believe they are kind of like 95% that they are really true. So the first one, your dimension of existence, place you occupy, perfectly matches your condition. So your location is frankly your condition. Secondly, we have this infinite number of those spheres of existence from 1 to 6, human-centered life, from 7 to infinity, God celestial, God-centered life. And finally, earthbound spirits, just try to, if you are strong enough, if you are humble enough, you can engage this relationship. And you can even explain them what is the right thing to do for them. But if you are not strong and humble enough, try to, stay away from them, connect to your Creator, and be happy with the beautiful life you have here on our planet Earth. That's all. this is, I believe, not complicated. I believe that everybody can understand it. So I hope that this knowledge will help you. And thank you very much for listening to me. And I believe we will see each other next time. May God bless you all. Thank you very much. Bye.